juicy.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Scaranoia podcast. I am Hugs and today I am with Jared and Chris and we have yet another banger of an episode this time.
That we do.
Something we've talked about quite a bit that we wanted to do, and Chris was like, all right, Jared got to pick aliens. We're doing Illuminati. This time, what are we doing?
We're doing I believe you said it's the many worlds theory.
So there's the many worlds theory, and then also an offshoot of that. What else are we going to talk about?
Mandela effect.
Correct. Which kind of go hand in hand. There are, schools of thought that they are separate things, and a lot of reasons to why each one is what. What jumped out at you as to why you were like, we got to do it for this episode. We got to get this out. We got to put this ahead of other stuff.
Okay, so I remember hearing the theory like forever ago that there's an infinite amount of alternate realities that are existing, and that for ourselves, right? And it could be as big as life changing, or it could be as small as certain decisions you've made in your day to day. You've made the opposite in those realities, so you're still kind of same thing. That's where um deja vu comes in. Like, it's not just your brain being like, oh hey, this feels like oddly familiar. No, it's because in one of those alternate realities you have already done that. You have already been through this. You have already been there. You've had that conversation. You've ate that food. You've gone on that ride, and so forth. But what really kind of stuck out to me, what made me like deep dive into that idea was I was having a conversation with my oldest son one time, and I was explaining that to him, about the alternate realities and how drastic they could be, and how, just how like mind blowing it was to me when I started like looking into it. And he had made, because we were on the topic of the afterlife, and he was like, well, what if when you die you're just reborn into an alternate reality of yourself, and that you're living as the same person the whole time, but different, it could be different variations. And then that got me thinking, like, what if that's how heaven or hell is decided? You know what I mean? If you're a good person and you move on to this greater existence, if you're a bad person, you end up a crackhead on the street. Like, just...
There's so many, like, because you brought up
Derek got excited for crackhead. He's like, yeah.
You've brought up this part of it, so there's so many things that can go into this.
So I love it.
Before we get into the, because I'm gonna broach a lot of that here in a moment. Jared, what do you know about the Many Worlds theory? What do you know about the Mandela effect? Are you knowledgeable on this? Are you going to be learning a lot, or what is your?
I'm going to be learning a lot on the Many Worlds theory, but I know a lot about Mandela effect. But obviously, we're going to talk about it later. But from what I've gathered, the Many Worlds theory is that, like, I could be the QB of my New England Patriots somewhere. Hell, I could be a Ghostface actor somewhere, and I think that's
or
pretty
actress.
Cool. Oh.
So
an actress. Could you imagine?
There's an alternate reality where Jared is Diddy.
There's an alternate reality where every single person on the planet is Jared.
That's so sad.
The smell of that planet is probably interesting. I can only imagine.
Those farts.
So here's the thing, and there's so many different things we got to get into with this. So Many Worlds, there's a lot of different interpretations of this. One is some are more ridiculous than others, okay? So some of them are every single decision that is made creates a rift, okay? Every quantum interaction or whatever creates a rift. So instead of turning left, you turn right. If you thought about turning left at any point, any time you thought about it, sorry, like a gnat flying in my face. Every time you thought about it, it created that rift. So there's a lot of different ways. So some of them become more crazy because you're like, in some worlds you're eating a banana, in some worlds you are the banana eating a human. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so, some of them become so crazy and outlandish. So it's like, it's very interesting how deep you want to go down the rabbit hole into that. Because the other thing you're talking about is essentially karma, okay, which entire religious dogma around this is about you die and are resurrected, or not resurrected, not resurrected, reincarnated.
Yeah.
There we go. Reincarnated into whatever based on what you've done. So there's a lot of different pieces that you've brought up just in that one comment, as far as where this can fall into for the Many World Series. So I want to go with, what is your interpretation? Yours is the one, every decision, every part of a decision. What is your interpretation? Yeah.
Weird.
Well, because you're the one that's...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think I would go as outlandish as the whole, like, in one reality you're eating a banana, and in another you're the banana eating the... No, I honestly, I can definitely follow the idea that the decisions you make have an impact and such, and as little as, like, I decided to go to work today, or I decided not to, or like I grabbed a bottle of water instead of a soda. Like I could definitely see that, like, causing rifts within it and such. So I could definitely, yeah, I could follow with that one. But also,
Okay.
just, yeah.
Jared, what are you embracing now that you're hearing all these theories? Which one are you just got to pick one. What are you embracing?
I think that, like, the way I'm leaning more is that, like, every choice has a consequence in the other world. So, like, say, I don't know. I like yours. You make a wrong turn, you make a right turn. Every single decision has a consequence for another world of you in it. That's my belief, I guess, of this many worlds theory that I'm learning about.
So, our friend Jay, okay, I'm going to slaughter this. Jazzjeet, is that how it's pronounced? He enlightened me to the idea of quantum immortality. Okay, so essentially the idea of this is you never truly die. Whenever you would die, you go to another version of yourself in another reality. Okay, that there's all these existences that are concurrent. Okay, and you're just jumping. It's quantum leap. You're leaping into another reality. So you can never truly die, and that's one of the things. I have this gnat flying in my face. I'm so sorry if you're watching the video. It like keeps flying right in my face. But there's this quantum immortality. Anytime you would die, you continue to live. So theoretically, you can live forever. Now, do I necessarily believe that? I don't know. But there are schools of thought where you can, through meditation, change into or leap into one of these other existences. I don't know. Have you heard about this, Crispy? Is this something that you've learned about?
Honestly, no, I don't think I've heard about that at all.
Okay, because I think that's pretty interesting.
Very, very interesting. I've not heard about it either, but I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you to get the name of that again so I can watch some videos on it. Quantum leaping?
Yes. So Quantum Leap, obviously the TV show, but quantum immortality. But I will say this. It bleeds well into the other part of what we're going to talk about, which is the Mandela effect. Because a lot of people have theorized that essentially you are in another reality. One of those reasons is because you've died or something has happened and you've shifted into this new reality, and now you're seeing these things that are slightly different than what you're used to. And that's one of the theories that builds into the Mandela effect from the Many World series, is quantum entanglement, quantum immortality, things like that.
I mean, I could definitely see that being the case. Sorry, I have a lot of background noise going on right
You're
now.
fine.
But yeah, I could definitely see that being the case in the sense of, like, having those kind of memories, because there are those realities that are our being has lived through and such. So yeah,
I get you. Another thing that people have talked about, and this also kind of goes into the whole world changing and could also go into the quantum immortality, is, you guys familiar with CERN? Like, it's the Hadron Collider, that giant thing, and like...
all I know is what Big Bang Theory has talked about on it.
Okay. So, but they've talked about the fact that when they ran the Hadron Collider, the Large Hadron Collider, whatever it is, particle accelerator, whatever it is, that it like the world ended, our reality ended as we know it, and now we're in a different reality. Another one is in 2012, which also I think is when CERN they started doing the Large Hadron Collider. The Mayan calendar, when they said the world was going to end. Like, it really did end, and now we're in a different reality, and that's why things are slightly different. Like, there's all these different things that feed into it. But it all goes to people realizing because of the Mandela effect. So, for those of you uninitiated, the Mandela effect is those little things that are slightly off from what you remember it. Some of the more popular ones being people think that it's Jiffy peanut butter when it's Jif. There is no Jiffy peanut butter. Okay? The Berenstein
I was going to
Bears.
say, that one always confused me because I always remembered Jif, not Jiffy.
Yeah. So there's the Berenstein Bears versus the Berenstain Bears. There's the one that got me is C3PO. Do you know the one C3PO is not all one color? I thought he was completely gold, but he's not. His leg is a different color.
Don't remember him being gold.
I don't even know who that is.
Wait, he's gold?
Star Wars. Yeah, like gold color. What color is C3PO to you?
I thought he was like gray and like blue or...
That's R2.
My fucking God. You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely...
I was like, he's the little fat one versus like the tall, skinny one.
Oh my God, yes. No, okay.
Did C3PO talk with beep boop, beep boop, beep boop? Wee? That was a near movie quality recreation, by the way, of those voice lines.
Goddamn, okay. Yeah, oh, fuck. Comments are gonna wreck me for that one.
You will indeed be the wrecked one. So, those are just some of the more common...
I didn't know that was the thing. His leg's a different color?
Yeah, one of his legs is like a silver color.
Oh,
I always thought he's like all gold.
Yeah,
like he's like all one
except
color,
like didn't
bronze
at some
or
point
copper.
He had like an arm replaced or something.
Yeah, at some
point. And the
point.
newer stuff or whatever.
The other thing too, the one that messed me up was the Monopoly dude.
Yeah, he got the monocle.
He does not have a monocle.
I always thought he had a monocle.
He 100% has a monocle.
I believe it. I know.
Like,
100%.
That's one of those you just cannot tell me otherwise.
Finish the lyric. We are the champions. We are the champions.
Those guys are losers.
No, they say of the world, right?
Oh.
Like that's...
Yeah.
We are the champ. No, it's not. That line doesn't exist. There is no of the world.
Yeah, there is.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
What the
D2, the Mighty Ducks, end scene, and that. So what do they say?
Just we are the champions. We are the champions. We are the champions.
I'm gonna fucking.
No of the world. I guess in some live performances they did. What's that, Jay?
Does Mickey Mouse have suspenders?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
He just wears shorts? Or like...
Just wears shorts.
Did he ever have suspenders?
No, never.
This doesn't sound...
I don't like that one.
I don't
like that one. I don't like that. I don't like it.
And one of what I think Mandela effects are?
Go ahead.
I think people go back in time and kind of just mess with something. I think Mandela effect or or what happens when people go back in time and mess with something.
Okay.
So like a butterfly effect.
Yeah,
okay.
Like a butterfly effect. Just something. But as much as just moving a rock from here to here. Bam. It's no longer the
no more of the world. No more of the world just because they moved
no more of the world.
Okay, here's two more. I'm gonna mess with your mind.
I'm gonna forward this movie because that is the scene that I remember it from the most.
Give me a sec, because I'm about to blow your mind a little more. What is the iconic line Darth Vader says to Luke?
I am your
Luke, I am
father.
your father.
No, he says, no, I am your father. He does not say, Luke,
Yeah, but
I am your father.
anytime you hear it in like people like mocking that, they say, "So and so, I am your father." That's no,
See,
no.
okay, I do feel like that one I could believe because remembering the scene from when I watched it as a kid, it was like, you killed my father. No, I am your father. I can see that, but I think the Luke, I am your father was more of a person to person publicized thing like that. People.
So, perfect segue. We're going to get back into some more of these just because some of these blew my mind. But perfect segue into one of the explanations for Mandela effects is that it's popular culture. So it's word of mouth. People get it wrong. People say the wrong thing. It becomes a part of pop culture to be the incorrect thing. And then once you see what the actual thing is, you're like, no, 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 that's not me and my friends been saying this for 20 years. Because I think, what is it, Tommy Boy, Chris Farley, and David Spade, where he's like saying it into the fan. He sits there, he's like, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
You know? Another one, though, and, to all our Snow White fans out there, it's not mirror, mirror on the wall. I've always thought that mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all, right? That's what it says.
Yes,
What it is.
that's what
It's
it
not.
is.
What it is.
It's magic mirror on the wall.
No,
Since
no,
when? That
I'm just here to tell truths, apparently. What they say is the truth, allegedly. Yeah. Trying to think of some of the other ones here. I'm looking through. Oh, so it's not life is like a box of chocolates. It's life was like a box of chocolates.
no, it's
Also, so and some of these are like deep references. Like you had to have seen the movies. Like, do you know Field of Dreams?
kind of. I've
If
seen
you
it.
the iconic line, if
If
you
you
build
build
it,
it, they will come.
not the line.
Then what it?
If you build it, he will come.
No, like
Which I think they were referencing his dad, their dad. I think their dad was a baseball player, like many, whatever in the past. But that's the thing. If you build it, he will come, not they will come.
that's also one of those like very iconic lines. So
Same thing as Silence of the Lambs. He doesn't, like, to me, I can hear it in his voice. Hello, Clarice. Where he says that?
yeah,
He doesn't. He says good morning.
I'm starting to get pissed off here.
There's so
I'm
many movie
starting.
lines, but again, I think this is like pop culture. I think that's what it is. I think that.
I have one for
Sure.
you because we're all wrestling fans. What is the name of the cage that Undertaker, like Undertaker synonymous with Triple H, synonymous with
The Cell, Hell in the Cell.
Punk and Drew just had a bad blood.
Hell in a Cell.
No, it's just called Hell in the Cell.
I've always
It has been. Yeah,
So it's not
it's
Hell in
always
a Cell.
been.
Maybe it's just people just. That's what I'm saying. I think people just start saying things a certain way, and then everybody just says that.
look. You're not gonna fucking convince me ever though that it was life was like a box of chocolates. No.
Yeah, same, bro.
No, that was life is like a box of chocolates because you never know what you're gonna get. Why would it be was? Like why would it be was, people?
I know you guys are probably.
Yeah, he's alive.
I know you guys are probably big fans of this show. But it was these women lived in the city, and it was called Sex.
In the city.
In the city.
No, Sex and the City.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, bro. No
You're gonna
way,
tell
dog.
me next that it's not Gilmore Girls, it's Gilmore's Girl or something like
Kill
bro.
most girl.
Gilmore's Girl.
They were the most.
I have a question on this whole Mandela effect, right? If you could change something yourself and see if people would notice, right? Say you had that power to change one thing, tiny or big, just to see if people would pay attention, what would you change?
It would have to be something wild, just something weird. Like I would switch the haircuts between Mr. Rogers and Mr. Or make Mr. Rogers wear the chains.
I mean, you could just have Mr. T be Mr. Rogers and Mr. Rogers be
That
Mr.
too. But I think it'd be funnier seeing Mr. Rogers with the haircut and the chains. And then Mr. T can just tie his shoes or whatever. You know, sit around waiting for the mail.
Tie their shoes. What
or,
about you, Jay?
Okay, put him in Blue's Clues. I think that'd be funny. Mr. T as
Mr. T in Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
I pity the fool when they can't find a clue.
That's right. I pity the clue.
What about you, Jared?
I would change the alphabet from 26 letters to 25. Rid of the letter Q because it doesn't actually need to be there. I hate the letter Q. And I just think that would be a funny thing to change.
But I'm just like, okay, so what all words would that impact? Like queen? Ween. All hail the ween.
Instead of queer,
things can't be quick and quiet.
It'd be Wicked Wyatt.
Wicked Wyatt. You know?
Like, so would that make Quebec? Quebec? Or you? I guess like it would go off of whatever the next letter would be.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many. Quentin would just be Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino, phenomenal director. I'm trying to think of what else would that affect.
On the subject of this, I'm glad you brought that up because I would go and make Quentin Tarantino the director of the Star Wars franchise. Could you imagine?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
He always has to have a line in there where he uses the N word. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like Sith Unchained or something. Like, I don't know what it would be.
You already got Samuel Jackson in it. Like,
yeah.
That's his dog.
What's the name of the Mandalorian guy? What is the name of... It's Boba Fett, Jango. It's literally Jango Fett. It's Django Unchained. Because I was like, isn't it Django or something like that? Yeah. It's just spelled different. Literally Django Unchained.
No
in a
D
different world. Yeah.
That's what we would get.
Because I was like, isn't that Jango Fett? Yeah. Okay. I love that question. That's a good one. So when we're talking about Many World Series and we're talking about, pop culture too, are you guys Rick and Morty fans? Because they actually had this in the show.
A little bit. I've seen some episodes. I haven't seen too much of it.
So they had a cable box that basically would get shows from all these different realities. And it was basically the Many World Series. They had like different episodes. They were like anthology style episodes or just random clips, random things. And it was like the Many Worlds because you would get just random whatever. But also Rick and Morty, there was like all the Council of Mortys, the Council of Ricks, where it's like very different versions of Rick and Morty. One of which is like Morty was like a hammer. He was like made of a hammer. And they brought it into Fortnite. It was in Fortnite. So when you get the Morty pickaxe, that's a hammer. Yeah. That was one of the
Morty hammer.
I love this topic though, and I feel like there's so many of these Mandela effects that come out there. Like the whole thing, of course, the reason it's called Mandela effect is people had thought Nelson Mandela passed away when he was in prison in the 80s. But he died in like 2013. Okay, this isn't even necessarily a Mandela effect. Maybe this is just we should have an episode called The Horrors of American Public Schooling. When did Rosa Parks die?
Recently, right? Like 2019, 2018?
I don't think it was that recent. But she was around long enough that Rosa Parks could have seen Shrek the movie. In my mind, it doesn't compute. Just like the whole thing of Cleopatra lived closer to our time currently than she did to the creation of the pyramids. Yeah, after Shrek came out.
That's crazy.
When I think of her, though, I'm like, she couldn't have seen Shrek. Like, it just feels so far away.
Dude, I was there, bro. Rosa Parks was in my theater watching
Shrek? Okay, cool. I'm just glad she got to see it. That's all that warms my heart. But, like, the whole thing...
Jared sat right next to her, bro. Jared shared popcorn with her.
The whole thing I was saying, though, is, like, that blew my mind about Cleopatra. I don't know if you heard that, where I said she lived closer to our time now than the building of the pyramids.
That's insane. Like, it's just...
No, hold on. Yes, Of the World is in the song. I just watched the end of Mighty Ducks D2, and it's on the fucking closed captions and everything.
Hold on. Is it in the recording or is it in the movie? Because Of the World is not in
They
the
they
song, the
use
recording of the song.
recording. They use the overlay of the recording what they're singing.
Who's singing
Nope.
it?
Freddie Mercury.
No, I'm saying who's singing it in the movie. Do you see Freddie Mercury in the movie?
No, he's not in the movie, but like
Exactly. Point not proven. You watched a movie of children singing a song incorrectly.
they weren't. It wasn't their voices. It faded from their voices to the song.
Just saying. Of the World is not in the original recording.
I'm gonna
This
watch
is a bigger one too. This is like a common one people talk about.
You're not gonna know. Like, I will pull it up on Spotify right now.
Pull it up. Pull it up mute so we don't get
of course.
struck. But pull it up. Let's validate. Because this is one of the bigger ones I've heard in all the YouTube videos too. This is one that gets talked about a lot.
Yeah, it has to be Of the World. It just, that's how it ends.
It says, even in here in the note that I have, it's only in certain live performances. It is not in the recording. That is like a common thing. I need pictures for some of these because I'm like Cheez-It. Is it Cheez-Its or Cheez-It? Because I say Cheez-Its with an S.
Cheez-Its.
But it's not. It's just
I say Cheez-Its.
It's just Cheez-It.
Well.
I feel like people just say the plural version. But that's not actually what it is.
Maybe Mandela effects ain't real. Maybe it's just all make believe.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's one of the big explanations is that people say it's just pop culture. People say it incorrectly and then it becomes the truth. Because
just one,
that's what I'm saying. Reality is perception. Perception is reality. Also, I'm being silenced. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, Jared was being silenced for multiple weeks by Big Bet, Big Gambling. I'm being silenced by Big Nat. Whatever's happening, there's like this one, I don't know where it came from. I know we were talking about the Illuminati before. I'm not going to say that they sent a tiny, small drone in here that is the shape and size of a gnat just to stop me and silence me. But I'm also not going to say that I'm not saying that. Putting it out there. I'm waiting to see if we get confirmation from Crispy on this because I'm very interested if he's checking this in the original, But just some other ones I want to list these off. Curious George did not have a tail. Okay.
Wasn't there something about the man in the yellow hat too?
I know there is one. I don't have the note on that though. Fruit of the Loom logo. I always thought it had a cornucopia. It does not. That's another big one. Kit Kat. Some people say it has a dash between Kit and Kat. I don't remember that. I don't know enough. I didn't eat enough Kit Kats.
I don't remember that either.
Maybe we're in the other reality now, Crispy.
I hold on. I paused it. Can I flip my camera? Is there a way to flip my? I don't think so. I'm gonna. We're getting mobile here,
I'll take your word for it. I'm
just gonna show the spot.
Okay.
We're gonna show the Spotify lyrics here.
Also, make sure this is not a live performance.
It's not. So I don't know if you can see my TV, right? Queen. It's a compilation of their greatest songs, and then I don't know if you can see it there.
You heard it here first. Maybe we're in the other reality. That's what I'm saying. Maybe we shifted back.
I had to die on that hill, bro, because I know that.
Bro, this is something. It came up in multiple lists that I pulled up. It's something I've personally seen in YouTube videos I've watched. It's stuff that I've seen on TikToks. It's one of the more common Mandela effects.
And look at that. Proven.
Just saying.
Of the world.
Maybe we've shifted.
We are the champions of the world.
Maybe we've shifted. Never know. Maybe I need to go watch Star Wars. Maybe C-3PO is gray and blue. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay? I'm sitting over here beep beep borking, and, I might be doing it for the wrong person.
No, that was 100% me.
Yeah,
but okay, I'm glad to have disparaged that Mandela effect because I was gonna die on that hill. That I know Of the World is in there, and I have seen it where they've said that. And at the time, I took it at face value, like, oh shit. But then it was like right now I'm like, I have access. Okay, we've got everything at our fingertips. I gotta find this. It's not like Berenstain and Berenstain where you're not gonna find fucking Steen unless it's like some.
People have, though. That's the thing. Watch the TikToks. There's people that like have proof, have evidence. I've seen it. That's what I'm saying. This is wild.
No, I believe it because I remember
Go
reading
down the
the
rabbit holes.
Berenstain.
Go down the rabbit holes. Okay. There's a lot more to this than we can cover in one episode. I definitely want to get another episode where we have some images we can pull up for these. I just know we were covering kind of multiple things at this point, but I do want to take a Mandela effect quiz in a future episode where we show both and have you guys pick which one is correct, which one is incorrect. Because there's a lot of logos and things like that as well that are very similar to that. But I feel like your disapproval of this Mandela effect is a good place for us to wrap it up here. Anything you guys want to add in conclusion to this podcast?
Maybe, when you're thinking about making that left turn instead of the right, make that left turn, okay? Because you never know what kind of effect it could have on your life.
I think the Scaranora pod might have a Mandela effect one day. People might remember us as the Scaranora pod instead of the Scaranet. I don't know what I just said, but
it's already happened. He already forgot. That's what he's being silenced by Big Gamble.
Maybe this podcast is represented by what was it, Jared? Not view count, but
Viewpoint.
Viewpoint. Maybe it is
right.
Viewpoint LLC.
That's right.
Support your local conspiracy theorists. That's all I'll say. If you watch this and for some reason Crispy's just muted throughout all of this, it's because he disproved the Mandela effect and the Illuminati who are listening, they didn't like it. But we love that you listened and we love that you hopefully liked it. Let us know in the comments your favorite Mandela effects, what you think about the Many World Series or anything that you're thinking about. Tell us how your day was, whatever you want to share with us. Hopefully you'll be back next week to join us again on Thursday. We'll be there. Hopefully you are too.